On this episode of the Bread and Butter Show, we travel down to Fredericksburg, Virginia to catch up with Tony Thrifts, a fashion journalist and a personal stylist who've partnered with the likes of GQ, PF Flyers, and many more entities. Hope you enjoy the episode.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Loso Del Fresco. Here. Yo, this is a special episode, man. I'm excited for this. We're gonna start, cheers, man. Coffee cheers.
Coffee cheers.
I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Go ahead, brother. Go.
Yo, my name is Tony Thrifts. Your coffee sipper. Personal stylist.
Fresh, always fresh.
Nah, bro, listen.
Nah,
man,
dog.
Listen, I'm just a coffee drifter. Drifter.
Yeah, but you are a crispy dude. Like that. Yo, I'm excited, man.
Hey, man,
I've known Tony over the few years, man, and this is one of my favorite dudes on social media. But not even speaking on social media. Just this is a good dude, great guy, and like this is a dude that like I watch his stuff and it inspires me. And it's not much shit on the internet right now that you look at the internet, it's a very negative place, man.
Bro, it gets dark.
And
it gets dark.
You come out there, bro, and you're dope. You inspire. You push everybody to have a good fucking day.
Hey, man.
Even when I be at work, grumpy, driving, listening to Mobb Deep on my way at like 6 a.m. Hell on earth, in a bad mood. But like, I see your shit, and that shit like, damn, son, he's like always in a good mood,
Appreciate
man.
that.
But you are. I like this.
Man, I try to be, man. Ain't no way, but you know.
Yeah, man.
You know how it go.
But, yo, I'm excited, dude. So let's start, man. I met you. Let's go back. This is cool.
Going back in the archives.
Met you. What year, man? Because you're probably better at this.
Bro, probably like 2014.
Okay.
2014, 2015. That's like the Sports Zone days.
Sports Zone days.
Yeah, the Sports Zone days. R.I.P.
M Street or Wisconsin?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Corner of M in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Oh,
that Sports Zone is... Honestly, in the DC area, that Sports Zone has so much heat over the years. Like,
that was
bro, I got Atmos shit from like 04, 03 on sale, like Atmos Air Max Safaris.
Yeah.
The first pair. I got those for like $80 there, dog. That
time,
store
man.
used to get everything because that store was there before Major, before all the boutiques.
Yeah.
It was them. They were the big boys, and they got everything. Nike used to send them everything. So like to me, when I see that, it's still in my head. It was that 3 stories.
Man, every time I walk in that area, it's a Capital One now. But every time I walk, like me and my wife, we go out there. I still just like. I want to go inside and I gotta remember. Oh yeah, it's a bank now. You know, it's not the sneaker store no more.
And yeah, dude, it's crazy.
But it's crazy.
Now we got what, Atmos?
Yeah, Atmos.
Well, Ubique now it's Atmos.
Yep.
We still got Major.
Still got Commonwealth.
Yo, there's other joints. There's some other gems in Georgetown. That I'm not even gonna mention because I know they're still there. And like, yo. If you want to find dope shit, go to Georgetown and walk around. Mom and pop joints. I'm not going to mention them.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, my man Alex runs that joint. If people know who Alex is, jerseys, hats, dog. Anyways.
Everything, man.
That place is, so I met you there. That place is like, every time I go there, it was just like, dog, it was like a library to me. They had so much sneakers. And
so much, man.
Yeah, man.
So much. It was the history, man. We used to do events there. We used to do the sneaker, like the Live at the Grill shows at the Georgetown one. We did a fashion show. We did 2 fashion shows there. It was an amazing time, man. Because that's when it was like sneaker culture was at a high.
Yeah. It was the beginning of, I met you in the beginning of the Adidas takeover when Adidas ran shit. The NMDs.
Yes.
The Boosts. Yo, Yeezy. That was the early Yeezy Adidas
early
days.
Yeezy days.
Yo, it took over. They took over the sneaker game,
man. Crazy.
Adidas had a good 3-year run.
They did strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
And they just,
man.
You know what it is? They oversaturated themselves, I think.
That's what it was especially with the NMDs.
Everything.
Like it went crazy. It was like good because it was limited, and because the only thing that Nike had to like counter that was the Vapor Max.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just a different time, man. And like sneaker history, man. Because now it was like Adidas was finally incorporating culture with Adidas, and I give Adidas props. Like they always included culture because Nike was based on athleticism. That's always their backbone. Yeah. No matter what. Like when we had, because we would have the vendors. When I went to Sports Zone corporate office, we would have vendors like Nike, New Balance, Adidas. They all come in. They all show like the new collections and kind of tell like what's the inspiration behind it. Nike, no matter what, was always athlete in mind. Athlete. And Adidas. they started shifting with just like
lifestyle
and culture. Because you had Run DMC and the art, they had so much stuff in the archives already that was built on culture. They finally was like, you know what, we can't run from this no more. Let's just embody this. And then that's when they had that 3-year run.
It was. And honestly, like Adidas was just like, people don't realize like, when you think about old Adidas, who wore it? Like Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
So like Nike always had the big top dogs. Like, and you think about it, in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't kids. Because kids are who buy sneakers, teenagers.
Oh yeah, now
they weren't in the 80s and 90s. They didn't give a fuck about the singers and the rappers. They were influenced by the athletes. Michael Jordan influenced.
Yeah,
them.
Michael.
Who else? Deion Sanders. Ken Griffey.
Oh,
man, remember we all used to wear our hats backwards because of Ken, man.
Yeah, with the gold
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was the coolest motherfucker out.
Mike Tyson.
So athletes was what the sneaker culture, like the kids who grew up. We used to look at Charles Barkley.
Oh, Charles.
Allen Iverson. Like we used to look at AI and be like, yo, oh shit, I need the Iverson.
When he wore Jordans in college.
Yeah.
And then he got the Reebok deal.
Man, look. When I think of a Jordan 11 Concourse, I think of Allen Iverson. There's no disrespect to MJ. I know it's a sneaker, but nah. The Concorde, the white and black Jordan 11 Concorde, that is the Allen Iverson Georgetown shoe.
Really
to me. I don't even think about MJ. I know some people are going to be disrespectful. I don't care.
Yeah, but nah, he had Allen Iverson had that much influence back then, man.
Yeah, man.
From the jump.
So and it's a different era. You see, so these companies, what's crazy in the 2000s, if you go back and actually dig through like the Adidas catalog and everything that's Adidas related, they started going after rappers before Nike.
Way before.
Because I met Meth at Adidas Georgetown. The Adidas Georgetown store was do you remember that shit?
Yeah, I do remember that one. Before the Nike store came.
They were there way before the Nike store.
Way before the Nike store, that's right. Because there was a Reebok store next to it, too.
Was cool,
because they used to do events there.
Yeah, and they used to get...
Like Wale, Tabby
Tiana Taylor, I remember. Kid Cudi performed there. But that's where I met Meth. I met Ghostface. Like these dudes, the Ghostface had a collab with Adidas. Method Man had a collab with Adidas. People just gotta go back. Like
I forgot that.
It was a different era of sneakers, bro. So it was like
way different.
It was a culture of like we weren't saturated in pop. It wasn't pop culture.
Nah, not at all.
That's what it is. The sneaker game now is pop culture.
It is. It's like a cash grab.
It's all a cash grab, and it's cool, man. Like it's cool that the culture's still alive. Yeah. But it's a different era, man.
It's a different era,
and that's what it is.
You know type deal.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Bread and Butter Show. This episode is brought to you by the Global Branding Agency. If you are a business looking to grow your business, for whether it's digital marketing, whether it's creative directing, whether it's strategic planning, reach out to them for a one-time free consultation. You can reach out to them at theglobalbrandingagency.com. Again, theglobalbrandingagency.com.
What exactly did you do for Sports Zone?
So with Sports Zone, kind of how we got connected, keep a long story short, was I should do events for them in Fredericksburg. I like to do these sneak events called Live at the Grill. The inspiration from Nas from Back at the Grill. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of flipped it, and I was like, just do something from the bird. Have people come down here, because a lot of sneaker shows, as Sneaker Con, Sneaker Pimps. You had to go to DC, you had to go to major cities for those type of sneaker shows. Like, no one's coming down to Fredericksburg, and I get it, like, why? So I was just like, you know what? Sports Zone was in Central Park down here, like, really one of the biggest sneaker stores down here, and I was like, so I saw hitting up Eddie, I was like, who was the manager, I was like, yo, can we do these sneaker parties down here? And I actually went to a sneaker party because Eddie did one at Sports Zone that was in Massaponax. I went there and I was like, yo, it changed my life. I was like, yo, it is like dudes wearing sneakers and they fresh and it's like dope girls here. I'm like, yo, I thought I was in a dream, not even gonna lie. I was like probably the only time I was like, yo, am I dreaming?
Yeah.
This is so weird.
It was so dope to you.
It was so dope because I'd never seen that down here.
Oh, yeah.
So the next day, I'm not even lying, the next day I went to Sports Zone. Right after I got out of church, like, yo, Eddie, I want to do an event you just did. I will organize it. I will put it together. Can you please let me do it? And he was just like, yeah, we'll talk. Like, he was like, you can do all the work. He was like, yo, and then we did it, and then we started doing it, and then the
bring it back.
For real, man. It's been a
bread
minute,
and butter,
man.
Bread and butter, bring it back.
We need, and that's how I got to the office. I was doing these shows, and then the manager started coming to the shows because Eddie was telling him like, yo, this dude is getting a good turnout. You got to come to one of these shows. And they were like, we come there, we'll come down. They came down at the right show, bro, because that joint in Central Park was packed. And John came down. Shout out to John from Queens. Sports Zone, my man. Like, he came down and he was like, yo, what's your name? I was like, Tony, you don't work for us? I'm like, nah, Eddie just let me do it. He was like, I would come with him, on Monday. And I went to the manager office, and I went. It's in Bethesda, Maryland. I went up there, and all the managers were there. Like, I wasn't even an employee at Sports Zone, but I came. Dog, the office, the best way I can explain it looked like a complex office in New York. It was like sneakers on the wall.
It was nice.
It was like people dressed like us.
Yeah.
People, I kid you not, yo. Like, they were at the time, because that's when Kanye came out. That's when, what album? My Dark Twisted Fantasy came out. So when I was walking through the office, they was playing that in the office.
You wanted to work there?
No, I was like, I gotta work here.
Yeah,
I gotta work here.
Pay me, please.
Bro, I was begging John. I was like, yo, can you please get a job here? And I was living like in Fredericksburg back then. He was like, man, you ain't gonna drive all the way up to Maryland. And I'm like, you right, because I ain't had the bread at the time. I ain't gonna lie. But eventually, my wife moved to Maryland because she got a job there. I moved, and then I told John, I said, hey John, I'm in Maryland. I kid you not. And I'm in the story right here. I kid you not. I told John 2 weeks before I left here. I was like, John, I'm moving to Maryland, man. Can I get a job? And he was like, all right, man, come talk to me when you get to Maryland. There was no guarantee. I packed up the car, and my dad was like, why are you even moving? You don't even know if you got a job. I'm like, well, I'm about to find out if I got a job. I packed up everything, bro. Son. Sunday night.
You took the chance.
Bro, I took the chance. I remember my mom, my dad, my grandma. We went to the Chinese restaurant down here, like a going away thing type deal. Jordan, Maryland, crying all the way up there. Cause I'm like, man, I'm leaving Virginia. And Monday morning, and then I met with my wife, because she was staying with somebody, a friend, let us rent out the basement. And so she showed me where I would be working at that Sunday or that Saturday. She's like, oh yeah, this is where you be working at. It's not far from the house. Monday, I go there, I go to the office, don't nobody know me from a can of paint. I'm just in there knocking on the door. They're like, oh, who are you? I'm like, Tony, I'm here to meet John. They were like, oh yeah, you can sit in the lobby, wait for him. And John came in, walked in, was just like, all right, yo, listen, you're gonna be working, you're gonna be a product specialist, you're gonna be taking photos and in the studio back here and editing using Photoshop. You're gonna be making, I think I make like 14 hours. You're gonna make 14 hours an hour Monday through Friday. Yeah, you can get started now. Like, that was it.
Dog. How was the feeling?
I was like, yo, I made it. I made it. Got the little key card to come in. But I didn't know.
In that era of sneakers too, most like people that work for sneakers was making like $8, $9. So $14. I know you was like, what?
Full time. And I didn't even know Photoshop.
So life was good.
But life was good, man. I was around sneakers all day. I didn't even know how to edit. Literally, it was a job. Someone was leaving. He was leaving, and so I was taking his job, and they had a photo studio. Just being around sneakers, I was just happy to like help be a part of the culture. That was it.
And it was a cool time and culture. I camped out of that store a few times too. We're not gonna get into those stories. We'll do it later on. If we come back, we'll do a little podcast. We'll talk. I got some Sports Zone camp out.
The war stories, man.
Dog, for 2013, the bread ones, that lineup.
God,
it was the first time I almost knocked this dude out, dog.
Yo,
I was
in the
so
Space Jams every year. Man, every year. I ain't even gonna hold you. The one of the benefits of working in the office was they had a Sports Zone outlet store right next door. So if you worked at the office, you could put your name on the Jordan Bread ones. You say, I want this. You put your name and your size. On Friday, they would come to your desk and they say, all right, now you can check out. They would put the shoe on your desk. You go to the outlet store and you could pay right there that Friday.
So now everybody got it.
Now everybody. Only you worked in the corporate office. Dog. These people hit me up all the time. Like shoes I didn't want. I only charged them $25, but I would get it that Friday night. Yeah. So a lot of releases we sleeping good on Saturday because we already copped it.
You see it, you was being generous.
Yeah, dog.
They get a little $25 on.
$25.
You gonna play this guy?
Now on releases. I wish we did.
Yeah.
I wish we did. But after if the shoes were out for 2 weeks, then we can.
Then you can get it. Sometimes put them on hold.
Put them to the hold. Put to the side.
Yeah. It was a different era,
different times, man.
So you met You met Sofrito working at that Sport Zone, or
how did I meet?
Yo, shout out to Sofrito,
my man Sofrito.
Shout out Sofrito.
I met Sofrito. There was a store. See, we in the Bird, man. So this is all this stuff comes. There was a store called Spaghetti Project. It was a sneaker boutique down here.
They always talked about it.
Man, and if Spaghetti Project was here nowadays, they would make a killer because they was ahead of their time. Like they were early 2009, 2010.
Yeah, Spaghetti Project.
Yeah, and I found out about them through a friend with a blog.
So they carried all types of sneakers?
Man, they had all kind of sneakers. I'm talking about, man, they had Dunks. Man, they had Air
era?
Maxes. Yeah.
Yes.
Bro, they with the apparel, they had Kid Robot. They had man, a lot of like
that era of like
Stussy.
06 to 06, 07, 08, 09, 010, that era.
Yeah.
There was a lot of boutiques that people weren't hitting.
No,
that's how I got my Yeezy ones. That's how I was able to get.
Wow.
And Gabe too.
Oh, my man, Gabe. Shout out to Gabe, man.
Yeah,
dog, baby.
And they could all vouch for them. They all got their pairs, cause dog, I was like, it was like almost like Spaghetti Project. The place was called Social Studies.
Oh, so dog.
Social Studies in Frederick, Maryland.
Cause you got one in New York, right?
No, that's Social Status.
Oh, social. Okay,
so it would this place is at the time major 08. This is like 08 or 09. Whenever the Yeezy ones came out.
Okay.
So the crazy story is there was when the Yeezy ones came out, there was a list of the shops that were supposed to get them.
That was getting them.
And he wasn't on it. But I still gave him a call, and I was like, y'all getting the Yeezy shoes? He's like, I don't know. He's like, let me call my buyer. That week that they were supposed to come out on a Saturday, he hits me up on Wednesday. He's like, hey, Los, my buyer's sending me 12 pairs. What? I was like, what? So I called the whole crew. Like people that had my band, Greg. It was a few of us that I was cool with.
Dog, you a good friend,
and we was that line. And then I met a few dudes on there. It was good times, bro.
That was good times.
Good times, and it was like, dog, the easiest Yeezy one, because Yeezy ones was a zoo, dog.
Bro.
That was war zone. To get that, Yeezy 2s was worse.
Oh, but
I never owned a Yeezy 2, ever. I never held one in my hand.
Bro.
But Yeezy 1s, I had all three.
Man.
Because of that shit. Because it was a different era of sneakers.
It was a different era.
Like, small shops used to shine.
Yep.
But the thing is,
it wasn't even the Nike stores. It was like you said, mom and pop.
But now it's just honestly, it's not even about it's just Nike. Nike's like has cut down. Why are they gonna give their money to small shops when they could just sell the shit themselves, bro? They're doing what Amazon's doing.
That's what they're doing, man. That's what they're doing, bro.
So but yeah, man. So let me ask you a question. We're gonna switch it up.
Okay.
So we met Sport Zone. So over the years, we did a podcast at Sport Zone, right?
Yeah. Oh, we did.
We did the podcast. Podcast. Dallas Penn. Sofrito. We did it.
Renee. We did, Joe. That was at the store.
And that's the first time I like talked to you. And then we met a few other times. And, And then over the years, bro, like you've gone with your Instagram. You've gone through like this, like you're a very inspirational dude, man.
Man, appreciate that.
Coffee time on Instagram is dope as shit. Yo, be honest, other people tell you about coffee time.
Man,
right?
I love it, man.
They people come up to you, they tag you.
Look, man, we need that daily dose of inspiration, man.
Yeah.
Cafes are having a renaissance right now, which is cool, man, because like we are now tapping in. We're that next generation where we can have, like when I go to cafes, I see some of the flyest people, and I have the best conversations, and they have the best music. In my opinion, the cafes I go to, man, the ones in Baltimore, they had amazing music. I'm like, yo, it's just the inspiration for everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love cafes so much. I like how they bring people together, how people can connect with each other.
Yeah.
And one-stop shop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So coffee time and
coffee, man.
But you use your social media platform to inspire people and be positive.
I try to, yeah.
So let's talk on that. Like what inspires you? What makes Tony Thrifts? Dog, you always a happy dude, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, I think what inspires me, man, is just little things in life. I'm a very little person, like meaning that. I mean, why you talk about this all the time, bro? Literally, if we came up today on crazy bread, our life wouldn't change much. It wouldn't change much because all I need is a downtown coffee date. I like to, if I can thrift on Saturdays for a few hours, and then after that me and the wife go out for coffee. And that's what life is. Life is just living, bro. Like just enjoying life. I don't need a lot of. I like nice things. Don't get me wrong, but I just life for me, man. As I get older and older, is just appreciating time with family, friends, and having those type of intimate moments, man. So like that's what keeps me happy, honestly, man. It's just family and friends, man. And just the little things, man. Just the little things, man.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's like
good music.
Good music,
man.
Just life, man.
Life.
So you use your page to be inspirational and stuff. But let me ask you a question. You, Tony Thrifts. What work experience did you go through for your next steps? Where you at now?
Okay, so after Sports Zone, it's funny. When I was with Sports Zone, I was doing a lot of style work on the side. Which is cool, but like, John, they was really cool about like me doing other stuff, because as I started working more with Sports Zone, we started doing more like, one thing I like about Sports Zone that kind of helped me with the writing and the fashion side was the one unique thing about them, we did everything in-house.
Okay.
So when Nike gave us apparel and shoes, instead of using like Nike stock images, we shot everything in-house.
Okay.
Like, shot everything in DC, so when you go to a DC store, you see, oh, yo, that's 8th Street. Like, it was branded and everything. So, and because we were the only ones at the office, they would just be like, yo, Tony, put an outfit together here, or like style this together. And so they would just get me to do it, and I'm like, all right, cool. And we would call people to the office. I would call friends and be like, yo, what you doing today? Yo, you want a model for this? And they would like, yo, pick out their outfit, sign it out. And then when they bring it back in, sign it back in, and just like kind of do your thing. So that helped me out a lot. And then after getting that experience in Sports Zone, and I was there for like 3 or 4 years, I started getting more back into writing, because writing is my first love. And going back to with GQ, when my dad would take me to the barbershop, I always say this, man. Every interview, you gonna hear this. Every Glenn O'Brien, rest in peace, man. He had the style guide column in GQ, and it was pretty much a column where people could write in with style questions. Like now we all talk about style like it's nothing now, but there were legitimate questions that people were afraid to ask. Like, can I wear a tuxedo, man, with like no socks? Can I wear, like, people were scared to ask. Men were afraid to ask those questions because they're like, it was so style guide was the opportunity for people to write in that they can ask questions that he went.
So you used to go back and read that shit?
Man, that's what got me in. That's what got me into like GQ, man. I was in the barbershop, and I remember, man, next to like a Word Up magazine, it'd be like a GQ magazine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm like 10 or 12. I'm like, I read it, and I just loved the way he wrote, because the way he wrote was how we talk.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I just never read anything like that. Like, it sounded like a conversation, the way he wrote. He was so gifted in that. So I was like, man, so I would learn different trips and tricks, like, based off his style column. And I was like, man, that's dope, man. I was like, I would love to write one day and be able to give, like, style advice, And so after Sports Zone, I left that. I started doing freelance work. At that point, when I left Sports Zone, I was doing freelance work. So I was doing stuff for brands, like Life After Dinner, Richard Poor, where they would send us like pieces and creating content, and I was writing content for the website. GQ came along because in 2012 or 13, I just reached out. I don't wait for opportunities to come, man. I tell anybody, you wait for opportunities to come, you've been waiting for a long time. I'm a magazine connoisseur, so by that time too, I was writing for another magazine called The Standard. I found them at a newsstand and at Barnes & Noble down here.
Okay.
I was reading magazines so much, I can tell you when a new magazine came out, like a brand new magazine. So this magazine came out called The Standard. I never seen it before on the stand. I'm like, what is this? Well, I never seen it before. Read it, reached out to the editor, like, hey, yo, man, can I write for y'all? He kept annoying me, hit him on Twitter, kept annoying me, and then eventually, and so I left. I got an opportunity at GQ, and shout out to Mo Life. He's the one that he helped me a lot with GQ. He was just like, why this you have? And I was like, man, we can. I was like, I kind of want to do something like Glenn O'Brien, like the style guy, but instead of answering questions, I could just cover topics like, what's the 3 best suits a man should own? Because like a lot of us, we lose touch with like certain things we just wasn't privy to. Like growing up, my dad was in fashion, so I know like the difference between like a sports coat and like how you should wear a tweed jacket, but that knowledge just isn't out there for everyone to know. You know what I'm saying?
And it was like, now it's so easy with fashion because you can just
you go on
pick
TikTok,
up Instagram and it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And boom. And that's why, think about it, everybody dresses the same, or everybody has the same style, or everybody has the same sneakers.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was like we didn't have Google, we didn't have the internet.
Didn't have the internet.
So for us to learn to dress, it was either our environment, our friends, family, cousins, father. So if your dad dressed like a bum, you probably just like a bum.
You was. That's how it was.
If your dad couldn't dress, you probably couldn't dress. Like it was like that. You know?
And my style tutorial, I tell anybody, was hip hop videos.
Yeah,
that
me
was
too.
my.
And Source magazines.
The Source magazine. Man, anything I went.
I didn't mean to. Well, I'm cutting you off. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna cut you off earlier. One day you gotta come through the crib, dog. I have a collection of Source magazines. I got maybe 100, 140 Source magazines.
Are you serious?
Great condition.
Oh my God.
Come through, dog, and just we'll go through it.
Nothing was.
You know what I wanted to do? I honestly wanted to break them down and started taking pictures of the inside of Sources and start posting it.
Oh man.
Because like you could see old advertisements.
The old like the
fashion.
Man,
it was just an era,
Rockefeller.
Bro. It was even before that. The Carl Kanai area.
Oh man, the Carl
Kanai. The
Pele colors.
Fubu had his own era, so it was just. Yeah, they had to run, and that's the thing. Like,
man, we got to
come through one day.
Man, we got to, man.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But that's what I like about GQ. Like, looking at the magazines, even though it wasn't a lot of minority represented in the early magazines, the Ralph ads, you know, with Tyson, like, it made us look so elevated.
And it's crazy because Tyson was, man. This is how hot Tyson was at the time.
Yeah,
he did Polo, Ralph. And he was Tommy ads.
And he was he double dip. He double dip. That's what made me like GQ. Like I'm telling, like it's sad now when you look at print. I'm a print guy. Again, you go to a magazine, dude. You'd be lucky if it has 75 pages. Like that's a magazine.
Because they're dying out. Bro.
Yeah, I'm coming from the era with like a magazine. It's like 200 places.
Yeah.
Easy. And a fall issue is 300.
Yeah, because that was our social media.
Yeah, that was the social media. That's how you understood what people wore. So like for me with GQ it was like I fell in love with the storytelling aspect of it, but also for the visuals aspect of it, and that's what And shout out to Mo Life. He gave me the opportunity, just like, all right, let's see what we can do. Just creating some articles, and then just kind of like telling those stories. First, start off with like style buying guides and everything, and then when the Standard family hit, they hit me back up like, all right, we'll let you write. And then I was focusing on fashion forward celebrities at the time. They gave me the opportunity to have my own column, and it was like, all right, whatever fashion forward celebrity you feel like that's on the brink or like on the heels of style.
And you did it.
You spotlight, yep.
So we started. Who you spotlight?
Man, we started with Chance the Rapper. Chance was the first one that we spotlighted for the Standard. Second one was ASAP.
Okay.
Of course, ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky was killing it. The third one that I did for print was my style icon. It was Pharrell. It was Pharrell Williams, bro.
I
got that issue, and it's funny. Mike Tyson.
Send me a picture of that, John.
Oh, I will, man. Listen.
I want to read it.
Oh man, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
And it was funny. 8 is my lucky number. 8 is my lucky number. I'm gonna tell you like this. When we started doing them online, they was like, we give you a shot doing your style column online because they had print before. If it does good online, we make them do print. So I did Chance, Rocky, Marcus Parr, who is Pusha T stylist, who I met with him later on, and he just changed my life, yo. He changed my life. So for the next issue, traffic was coming up, and they was like, oh, yo, you get a lot of traffic on these profiles, man. And so they said we might do something for the 8th issue. 8th my lucky number, and they didn't tell me who's gonna be on the cover. They didn't tell me anything like that. They're like, we'll do an extended piece. Let's do somebody who you really think is killing it style wise. And at that time, Kanye's killing it. That's the obvious answer though. Yeah. But for me, I was like, someone who really inspires me, who I really think style just always been A1 was Pharrell. And they was like, all right, let's see if we can do something. And we did something with Pharrell. And I didn't realize how long print actually took to do, because I'm so used to online. This is my first editorial in print.
Yeah.
So I sent it over. They gave me like a deadline. I did it. And they were like, okay, cool, thank you, Tony. And I'm like, am I going to get my byline on there? Because if you're a writer, you know, if you get a byline by Tony Logan, that's major. That's resume work.
Yeah.
Because normally, you know, a lot of times magazines, they don't like to give people byline. You got to have that credibility. And they were like, yeah, we're going to give you a byline. I didn't hear back for months. And I'm like, man, maybe they didn't like the article. Maybe it wasn't good. And me and my wife was on vacation at the beach. And Adam sent me a digital proof. He was like, yo, everything got approved. He said, I'm going to send you the digital proof. Don't show it to anybody. And I'm like, all right, cool. And he sent me, I was in a hotel, and he sent me what the magazine was going to look like and the article. Man, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So like, it's going to be on stands next month. Man, I went to Barnes & Noble every day, waiting for that joint to come out. Man, when it came out, and on the cover was Mike Tyson. Mike
was happy?
Man, because Mike is like, yo,
Mike, I got a Mike Tyson.
Yo,
cover.
number 8 and the Pharrell interview was on there with the style feature. And like, that just made my day.
Did you interview Pharrell?
No, we did like a style profile.
Okay.
Yeah, so we worked with somebody else who got like
cool,
got the photos and everything. And I just did the editorial
VA
stuff.
kid.
Bruh.
Highlighting, profiling a VA kid.
And look at my man Pharrell, man.
Shout out to Virginia, dog. Shout out to Virginia,
Yo,
dog.
Virginia got style for days, man. And so that's when I really fell in love with Prince. So yeah, that's how I got with GQ, and that's how I started doing stuff for the Standard, and that's how I got more into editorial work.
That's cool,
which
man.
is after Less War Zone, man. It's been a blessing. I love it, man.
Yeah,
I still love it.
So 2023, where's Tony Thrifts at when it comes to your voyage, brother?
It's tough, man. 2023, just dropped like a style project called Cafe Clothes, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a digital lookbook for like men that they can download. I priced it at a cup of coffee. So like for a cup of coffee, you can get 10 downloadable looks. And I got a nicer Cafe Clothes playlist. I think that's what I'm gonna just start doing, because I do style. When I work with style clients, it's tough, man. That's one thing that like I said, Marcus Paul, Pusha Stylist was telling me, man, when we met up in New York, people don't understand, as a stylist, it is a hard industry to make a living, because a lot of times you work with clients, you can't say what client you're working with. You can do a style job for Selena Gomez, and you can be, I'm working with Selena Gomez. You can't release any pictures or behind the scenes stuff because of like contracts and stuff. So if she puts something out and like, oh, style by Tony Logan, then I can use that. And it's like, yo, but sometimes it's hard, man. Like, it's really hard to be like, yo, I styled this person. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, and that's how you get clients, like everyday clients. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's weird, man. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to just style clients. I want to write. I want to design. So now in 2023, man, that's what I'm doing, man. We got a Cafe Clothes project. I'm doing with a cafe on Joplin National Coffee Day. I'm designing a T-shirt for them. It's going to be amazing. And then I'm also working with this, I ain't going to say the name of the company yet, but it's coming. So they saw the Cafe Clothes concept. Man, I was like, yo, this is dope. Let's do a collab where we can do something on an app where we can create something on this app where you can do what you do, you can style and do it through here. So that's going to be coming soon. I'm going to do men and women for that, because I love styling women too, man.
So you'll be able to style men and women on the app?
So on the app, they're going to be able, I'm going to sell like a downloadable EPK for the fall. So if men, and it's good for men and women, if you need some ideas for fall, go on the app, you can buy the style pack, and I have all the looks curated for you. You can download. I'm going to do men and women. When I drop the Cafe Clothes one for the summer, bro, it was 70% women who bought it and 30% men. But it was men clothes, and women bought it for like their husbands and their boyfriends. Like, oh yeah, look, like it was.
That means they're like, hold up, they need a little help.
No, that's what it is, man.
Can't dress.
Yeah, you can't dress. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something for the women, and I'm gonna do something for the men. So
that's cool, brother.
But always just, my thing is, man, I'm in that point of life, man. I'm just like, I just want to create, man. You know, create. I don't need no spotlight. I just want to do it because it gives me that fulfillment, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about.
Exactly,
you know?
bro. Exactly.
That's what it's all
about. Real quick, man. Let our viewers know where they could catch you, where they could hit you up. Any questions?
Man, you can hit my website out, TonyThrifts.net. IG Tony Thrifts. I'm not really on TikTok like that, but yeah, just between Instagram and my website, that's like my creative hub.
You used to be on TikTok.
Yeah, I used to be on. I'm trying to get hip. You know what?
It's a dark place, huh?
Man, that's like the one app I feel like I aged out of because I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
But
it's just arguments on there. That's what it is, dog. Everything we know everything before Twitter gets everything before everybody.
Yeah.
And then the negativity, dog.
Man,
It's a dark world.
TikTok is such a fast-paced content, and I'm like, I'm at that age, man, where I like books. I'm going back. I like vinyl records. I like stuff I can touch.
Yeah.
And I need long form stuff.
Physicals.
Yeah. I need long form stuff. So that's why I love but even like Instagram. You know, I get it. Everything's changing to reels and stuff like that. You got that with the times, but
fashion, inspirational, coffee. Tony Thrifts.
Tony Thrifts, man.
Yo, shout out to the producer of this show, man. Yo. Rob. All angles.
Yeah.
All angles, fellas, ladies.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan.
Yeah, salute. Shout out to our director today, Olivia. Olivia Del Fresco. Shout out to Olivia.
Came on set with coffee in hand.
Come on, real
Olivia,
quick.
come on up. You the star.
Come.
You the star.
Yeah, go ahead. Bow to the camera.
She came on set ready. Listen, I'm about to hire her.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah, she's been running in the back.
She's been running
little
everything.
Notes and cut and everything.
Shout out to Dan for letting us use the space.
Yeah, man. Yo, shout out to Dan. They have an Instagram?
Yep.
This is
Metro Nova Creative. Located downtown Fredericksburg.
Yeah, right there.
We here, man.
Thank you so much for having us here, yo. Thank you so much for finally doing this, brother.
Man.
Coffee cheers, my man.
Time, man.
Yes, sir. We're going to do this again, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, at Tony Thrifts, at All Angles, and at Loso Del Fresco.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me.